Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Salesforce Champ. This is the first session of our training series on Salesforce CPQ. A little bit about me. My name is Raj. I have more than 9 years of experience in Salesforce and I'm currently working as a CPQ architect. The main objectives we are aiming to achieve through this series are learn Salesforce CPQ without coding knowledge, basically to learn implementing a Salesforce project using the out of the box CPQ features. Also to someone who's looking to start a career in Salesforce CPQ. So if you're someone who wants to learn Salesforce CPQ from the basics, you're at the right place, and this is exactly the session you might need. Because we have planned our sessions in such a way that we start from scratch and then deep dive into all of the CPQ models and reach a level where you will be able to implement a CPQ project end to end on an end to end scale. I mean, this training will make you ready to work on a CPQ implementation on a full-fledged scale. Also, we are aiming to help you clear your Salesforce CPQ Specialist certification. Once you've understood the concepts of CPQ over this course, you will be able to take the CPQ Specialist certification exam, because in the current job market, having a certification is always going to be a great add-on to your resume. So that said, moving on to the next slide. What you see here is the list of topics we will be covering over different videos in this series. Today, we'll go over the introduction of CPQ, and we'll also see how we can set up a CPQ sandbox or a developer edition org, which you can use to practice whatever we go over in this series. So moving on to the introduction slide. CPQ is a managed package, which is a component of the Salesforce Revenue Cloud product. So CPQ stands for Configure, Price, Quote. Configure here represents that we can configure the products and product options as per the customer requirements. This might seem a little technical at this point of time, so don't worry if you don't understand it. We'll talk about this in detail in a few minutes. When we say price, it involves and deals with the pricing of the various products sold by the company. Quote is the part where the tool helps us or the company to create a quotation that can be sent to the end customer. A real-time example would be, let's say you go to a car showroom. The sales rep helps you to buy a car by explaining the different features of the car and its different models. During this process, you will sit with the sales rep and decide the different features like leather seats, your sound system, the display, noise, etc. Basically all the features that you would want to have in your car. Once you finalize the entire list, the sales rep will provide you the final price, and he will also give you a quotation containing the different details and the features that you've chosen for your car. Usually, the sales rep would be doing this digitally either on his computer or from an iPad. So CPQ is one of those tools which would help the sales rep to do this process digitally on his computer or from his iPad. The car, along with its features and the different add-ons or the products that the sales rep will configure in CPQ, and the quotation that he provides you with can be generated again using Salesforce CPQ. So Salesforce CPQ is a solution using which a company can design and define a smooth quote to cash process based on their own business requirements. That said, it is important to understand the advantages of CPQ before we start learning it. Sometimes this could even be asked as an interview question as well. So imagine from your previous example, the sales rep doing this from an Excel sheet or over a paper manually by looking up the price for each item and for each feature that you added. So imagine on a bigger scale how many cars they'll be selling in a day. And if he's doing all this manually, there is definitely a room for a lot of errors and miscommunication. On the other hand, with CPQ, the entire end-to-end quoting process is made more efficient and faster. Also, since we have everything configured in CPQ at the backend, for example, the price of the product, the price of any feature, the accuracy in the configuration and the good generation of code improves a lot. Hence, the amount of errors that can happen during the quoting process is also reduced. In fact, according to Salesforce, it is reduced by a factor of 35%. So if you see here from the screenshot that we have provided, the quoting error, quotes with configuration errors go down by 35%, and quotes with pricing errors go down by 38%. And it increases your forecast accuracy by 29%. So when it comes to the time required to generate a code, since again we'll be automating a lot of things using CPQ, we can generate the codes much quicker. So if you see from the screenshot below, it reduces the time needed to generate a code by 33%. So also, after once a quote is accepted by the end customer, the company will get into a contract with the customer. That's the general process, and there is going to be things around the contract like amendments and renewals, which again is an added out of the box Salesforce CPQ feature. All this ultimately increases the efficiency of sales and revenue to the company. And also, according to me, one of my personal important one of the things which I like very personally, and I consider as one of the main advantages of CPQ, it is 100% mobile compatible. So sales rep can create or access their codes anytime and from anywhere from their smartphones. So I will move on to the last slide, which is creating our sandbox in CPQ. So this is a link from Salesforce using which you can create your developer edition org for practicing CPQ. I'll add this to the video description as well. So I already have this link opened here in my browser. I'm going to register. Uh, put myself as an architect. Let's try to get the same username. Yeah, looks like it's available. So we should be getting a email in our inbox. We just received this email from Salesforce. It took us a while to get it, more like 5 to 10 minutes. So in this email, you're gonna have the username which you entered there while you registered for your developer edition, and also you're gonna have a button which says verify account. We need to click on this to get our account activated. So it's going to ask you to set up a password for your developer edition org. Let me do that real quick. Then it's going to ask you so once we click on change password, it's going to take us inside our org, and that's it. This is our CPQ installed developer edition, which we can work on. So I'm in the incognito browser, so it's asking me to open the classic version, and when you click on install packages, and we should be able to see that Salesforce CPQ is already an installed package in this developer org. So stay tuned for more courses on Salesforce CPQ. Thank you, everyone.